$132,500, because if we take it out, we need to also consider any profit that we're getting out of it. So this is considered opportunity cost. And if we choose outsourcing decision, let's say if we don't choose the outsourcing decision, what are we giving up? We're giving up $132,500, which seems great at this point. But what if we can actually get something out of the free space? Then we're also giving up this, for example, $18,000 of profit if we're able to use that idle machine to produce something else. So altogether, the real cost for outsourcing is not just the money that we're paying, not just the fixed cost, but also the profit that we may be able to get from that capacity, the remaining idle capacity. Okay, so this portion here is still in-house costs. This doesn't change. What changes is if we also add in the consideration of how do we use the idle machine. Of course, the managers can still make it just simply idle and leave the space with nothing there. But if they make use of that, if they utilize those machines, the labor hours, they may be able to generate more profit out of it. So you also had to add back the profit. After this, you can see that the numbers changes now. So we're comparing $114,500 against producing it in-house at $125,500. $125,000. Okay, so really there's only two things. One is, what is the purchase cost? What is the money that you're paying to suppliers? So this case here is $92,500, right? Now some cases, for this particular example, they say they do need other manufacturing fixed cost occurred. Sometimes there's none of that. Sometimes this is good enough. But this problem here, we still have fixed overhead occurred, perhaps package it with other products, and that machine's depreciation cost. Okay, think of that example. So we have two types of cost altogether. Up to now, it seems like the outsourcing cost is this, right? Third step, if we consider outsourcing, then the original manufacturing plan, let's say we had 6 cells that were producing something, now we have 1 cell that we outsourced. So what do we do about this? This physical area, we probably can get something, or whatever the original machinery was, we use it to produce something else, other products. So if this is the case, if the problem tells you this is the case, whatever the profit is, the output of this area is production, basically. Whatever the cost was, but subtracted from the revenue, whatever the profit is, this also needs to be considered together with this outsourcing decision. So in this problem, you assume that you estimate that the projected revenue will be this. Okay, so this is a budgeting decision, of course. Before they make this decision, they have to estimate it. Okay, we'll go over a lot more budgeting decisions in the next chapter. Basically, if they project that the $18,000 is the potential profit, then this will actually reduce the cost of outsourcing, the overall cost. I'm not saying that we're reducing the price we're paying to others. We're still paying this. We're still depreciating the fixed assets, but we're getting more out of that idle space. So we also need to consider overall the effect is actually this number, $114,500. This is we're paying. This is also the cost that occurred, expenses for machinery. But this is what we're getting. After outsourcing the free space, we're able to get this profit. So before this actually happens, our analysis at the end, the overall cost really is just this. $40,000 was the fixed overhead, assumed from the problem then. If we do have machinery still used to package whatever the outsourced products with others, so if we still need to depreciate that machine, it's still considered a fixed cost that occurred. Its unavoidable portion is $40,000. We'll be outsourcing it because it's cheaper, because considering the idle machinery, idle space, yes, the final answer would be, since this is lower than manufacturing in-house, then we'll be outsourcing it. Okay, so the decision-making process here is what's the money that we're paying others, mainly is this, and then plus anything that we're getting out from the idle space. Of course, if we're just determining to minimize the manufacturing plant, then there wouldn't be this place. But if that's not the case, usually the free space will be able to support other production cycles products. If we're getting profit out of it, subtract it. So the overall cost really is $114,500 instead of the original, considering the profit we're getting. Okay, is this better?